You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruptions. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a bugle and leading a charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew to eat hog maws confiscated from a Harlem sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Schaefer Award Theater and will not star Natalie Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Julia. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution will not get rid of the nubs. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother. There will be no pictures of you and Willie Mae pushing that shopping cart down the block on the dead run or trying to slide that color TV into a stolen ambulance. NBC will not be able to predict the winner at 8:32 on report from 29 districts. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of pigs shooting down brothers on the instant replay. There will be no pictures of Whitney Young being run out of Harlem on a rail with a brand new process. There will be no slow motion or still life of Roy Wilkins strolling through Watts in a red, black, and green liberation jumpsuit that he has been saving for just the proper occasion. Green Acres, Beverly Hillbillies, and Hooterville Junction will no longer be so damn relevant, and women will not care if Dick finally got down with Jane on Search for Tomorrow, because black people will be in the street looking for a brighter day. The revolution will not be televised. There will be no highlights on the 11 o'clock news and no pictures of Harry armed women liberationists and Jackie Onassis blowing her nose. The theme song will not be written by Jim Webb or Francis Scott Key, nor sung by Glenn Campbell, Tom Jones, Johnny Cash, Engelbert Humperdinck, or The Rare Earth. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be right back after a message about a white tornado, white lightning, or white people. You will not have to worry about a dove in your bedroom, the tiger in your tank, or the giant in your toilet bowl. The revolution will not go better with Coke. The revolution will not fight germs that may cause bad breath. The revolution will put you in the driver's seat. The revolution will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised, will not be televised. The revolution will be no rerun, brothers. The revolution will be live.
Well.
I'm talking about shout going crazy. People going crazy in them motherfuckers. Run that shit back, man.
But it means nothing about a woman on the bed. Man made the car. Man made the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electrolyte to kick us out of the dark. Man made the pump for the water. Like the 7-no-meter. Man thinks about a little bit of baby girl and a baby boy. And man makes them happy because man makes them joy. But after man make everything we can, do you know that man makes money? To buy from other men. This is a man's world. But wow. felt like that could have went better.
Grand Risings. Thank y'all for tuning in to Grand Risings with Shabaka and Chase on Blog Talk Radio and YouTube on StreamYard. We are also celebrating the Honorable KHALID Abdul Muhammad Day. Today is his solar return. So we have to play a clip from him on Blog Talk. Now let me bring Shabaka on so he can start the proceedings.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced Grand Rising with Shabaka and Chase. The air date of this episode is Friday, January the 12th, 2024. Okay, we got our co-host, the one and only Mr. Brother Che and Crewman, coming to you from the Mile High Income City, and I'm coming to you from Sin City here, Las Vegas, Nevada, this morning.
Yes, greetings, Shabaka. Grand Risings to you. We also joined with Lady Che on the StreamYard. Greetings, Lady Che. We're also celebrating the solar return of Dr. KHALID Abdul Muhammad. Rest in power to him. Today would be his birthday. I believe he would be, how old would he be? He died in like 98. So he would probably be about in his mid-50s.
So, all right. So he transitioned 26 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, may the brother's spirit live on forever. That is because I do recall Dr.
Is it the 98 or 99?
Was on a show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Here we go.
And he had told Mr. Donahue.
Jesse, both of you, man. Jesus.
Economical base.
Get ready to dip.
Lady Che is here. Lady Che got something to say. Go ahead, Lady Che. What you got to say?
I was gonna say y'all are good, right? Because I was gonna dip real fast. I was gonna not dip, but I was gonna go over there to the spot because I got so fucking cold.
Yeah, we might need you to stay in the studio just in case it gets to acting up.
Well, it's already acting up. Like, well, it's I don't know, but you guys came in choppy for a second. Well, I'm gonna go on mute for a second just so I can get back there, and then I can kind of do it. Pray I don't fall asleep because it's fucking cold. My heart hurt so bad. So I would step back and just carry on. I'm here. So for at least an hour, right? It's like an hour.
Yeah, we set it for 90 minutes, but yeah.
All right, bet. I'm just gonna go on mute real quick so I can transfer over.
Okay.
All
right, go ahead, Shabaka.
Okay. So Dr. Muhammad, was stating on the social times on the Phil Donahue show, which was very popular between the late 1960s and I believe to the early 1990s.
Correct.
Okay. And what is happening is that once again, they constantly want us as a people to be totally dumbed down about the brutalization that happened to our people on the plantation system. Okay. And as you know, for the last few weeks, pro-black media, has been getting sidelined, with algorithms, prepackaged bullshit, all these other groups, out of the U.S. running it and controlling it. And they just want us to still be the bootlicking, half-fried, court gestures, throughout the media and what have you. But at the same damn token, all these other fucking groups are going out here, you see what I'm saying, and building up their infrastructures and whatnot. And we're supposed to sit up there and say, oh, well, that's great, that's beautiful. We're all inclusionary and all that. You see, inclusion ladies and gentlemen, is the only thing they want us as black people to be included in being in the cemetery or in the jail. You see, that's the only thing they want us to be included in. But we're supposed to be out here, spending all our money with these other groups, talking about, I'm with Uncle Sam and all that. And Uncle Sam, sure enough, is not with us. Look at this fiasco, ladies and gentlemen, that's unfolding, called an election year. The dump, as in human shit. And we
get to the itinerary, Shabaka. Can you see it?
No, sir, I'm not in the studio. Okay. All right, hold on. Okay. Let's see. All righty.
Studio? Who's running the studio?
See the itinerary right here. Happy heavenly birthday to Dr. KHALID. Okay. Season 8, episode 3. With Grand Rising, with Shabaka and the Church, we'll be discussing the current political fervor in 2024 between the Democrats and the reptilians. The dump, as in human shit. And we want to make that perfectly clear. Threatening the prosecutor, Fanni Willis, in the Georgia State case. Yeah. Ron Desantis as DePantis. We question his war report as a judge advocate general officer in the U.S. Air Force. And Vivek Bad Salami not qualifying for the 5th Republican presidential debate in Des Molines, Iowa, USA. Nimarata Nikki Haley, she is downplaying the Civil War, the cause of the Civil War. Jim Crow Biden's son, Hunter, who is a dope fiend, got charged with contempt of court and had a hearing about it this week. Okay. Yes, sir. Okay. I'm looking at our itinerary right there. Thank you so much for an excellent job of writing it up, Brother Jay.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome, Sparky.
Yes, sir. Okay. All righty. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it's like they're trying to force this agenda on us. And then you got all these bootlegs, the full Professor Black truth, who sit up there and co-sign this dumb shit. You see what I mean?
And to quote Dr. Khalid Muhammad as well, they'll send some bootlicking, ass scratching, tap shoeing, homogenized, half-baked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And Dr. Khalid, had his predictions was accurate. You know what I mean? Is that particularly, when you're looking at this current political fervor, and then the sad part about it is, you got these black politicians like your Kamala Harris, who theoretically is supposed to be the most powerful woman.
She's not black, Shabaka. She's only black when it's convenient. Any other time that woman is South Asian and Indian.
Yeah, exactly. You see what I mean? And then keep in mind, with the caste system of India, how bad, that they hate us. So we want to bring that there to light as well, too. But at the same token, we're not supposed to say nothing about it. Those who inclusion of illusion and we're all the same.
Shabaka, should I do it? Should I do it, Shabaka? Should I do it to him, Shabaka? I was gonna play the clip on a StreamYard from KHALID.
Yeah.
Yeah, follow me.
Yep.
This is KHALID Muhammad, former national representative of Minister Louis Farrakhan of the Nation of Islam.
Can you hear it, Shabaka?
Mr. Muhammad is the man who made so many of the front pages of America's newspapers with a speech at King College, which so many people called anti-Semitic and a lot of things. At the very least,
I don't know. The clip is kind of
You remember the
messed up.
comment? He picked up the Pope's dress, and let's see what's under that dress. Here's what you said about Colin Ferguson, the man who shot a Jamaican a black male who shot 6 people on the Long Island train. Mr. Muhammad speaks.
Oh, yeah, you remember that, Shabaka?
When they set black inmates up in those jails and penitentiaries, and in particular there in Nassau County, and pulled all the black officers out and the black inmates so they could jump on Brother Colin Ferguson because they were mad with him for catching the Long Island train and killing all of them white folks. I love Colin Ferguson.
Lady Che, that's how you sound about Daryl Brooks.
Official position, so I can say I love
That's because he pushed the envelope with that Prozac case. I was like, he was serious. Like, you know, everybody's like, man, you stupid. I was like, nah, I don't think so. He really tried his ass off because he really did try his best.
Like Eisenhower. America wants her killers, and they get ribbons and stripes and bars. I'm sensitive to the pain and suffering of the loss of life on that train, but I'm one of the rebellious slaves.
Right.
And so when black people stand up out of pain and suffering and frustration, I understand after 500 years.
I was a little kid listening to this. Like,
you talk about the response of some African Americans to, for example, the book which attempts to prove that the Jews are involved in the slave trade. You're happy to let them see that. You talk about when white folks can't defeat you, you said in your speech.
Here we go. This is my favorite part.
They'll always find some Negro, some boot-licking, butt-licking, buck-dancing, bamboozle, half-baked, half-fried, sissified, punkified, pasteurized, homogenized nigger that they can trot out in front of you. I would ask you, Mr. Muhammad, is Jesse Jackson homogenized nigger?
To the best of his ability.
Here you are mocking Jesse Jackson at a speech.
I am somebody.
University. Roll the tape.
Dude, the balls he had to do that.
Fraction, Shefflin, Messi, Jesse Jackson.
Keep Pope alive.
That's what I'm going to say. Next time you get messages.
Somebody. I am somebody.
Keep up alive.
I am somebody. I don't know who the hell I am, but I am somebody.
Are you
He's like, yeah, I did it.
Yeah, I did it. And what?
What? It's like, feel that leave me alone. You did it. He's like, I did it. And what?
Must be brought about by black people gaining a thorough knowledge of self after our 500 to 6,000
I'm gonna watch that clip. That clip made me happier than right now.
And so I believe that education process must be a process of 2 steps: inspiration and information. So I seriously give information, but black people are people of rhythm and spirit. So I also give inspiration.
You're so serious.
His face is like, yeah.
The head of the ANC received a Nobel Peace Prize, you reported to your audience, reminded them, for nonviolent struggle. Just like Mandela just received it with F.W. de Klerk. How could you stand with your oppressor and your enemy and receive a Nobel Prize for nonviolent struggle?
Good point.
You do not support then Nelson Mandela's strategy in the struggle to free black people in South Africa?
Let us first of all be very clear here, Phil. Nelson Mandela is my brother.
So
He is a
Jesse
member of the family, and so is Jesse, and Jesse is a very brilliant man. We just want him to return home and stop being used by the enemy.
That's right.
That's right.
Brother Nelson Mandela. And certainly we can never mention Nelson without mentioning Winnie Mandela.
Yep.
But Nelson Mandela's attempt at a multiracial government in South Africa after the murder of men.
Oh Lord, Jesse.
In that part of the world, I cannot go along with one man, one vote. Let me say why. If someone broke into your home, Mr. Donahue, and actually bum rushed your home, and black boots stomped your door down, and came in and robbed and raped everyone in the household, and was able to take the wealth of your home and parlay it into an empire. This is an invader. This is an intruder. This is a murderer. This is a burglar. This is a criminal.
That will stand.
Your home with them after they broke in and committed the crimes that they did.
You are
Little. Like brother in ICU, you're creeping through your crib.
24 hours to get out of town by sundown. That's all. If you
Watch
don't
it,
get out
right.
of town by sundown, you'll kill every white that ain't right that's in sight in South Africa. We kill the women, we kill the children, we kill the babies, we kill the blind, we kill the crippled, we say why? Because they're going to suppress our babies. So we kill the baby.
Don't worry, family. He will be coming back over here to the dollhouse where everything is nice and easy. Like Tina Turner said.
If the white man is killed, you cannot deny, undeniable, and indisputable fact, proof, and there is a be merciful. I don't agree with government.
Sound horrible.
27 years.
I feel like I want to help you, but I don't. And we lost sound altogether right there. I feel like I want to help you, but I really don't want to help you. Are you muted, cuz? Man, all right. I hope Jesse again.
I believe that the invasion of South Africa was an act of unprovoked war. One nation against another nation. And nations must fight for the self-determination. They had no business there, Mr. Donahue.
Would you like to see Aristide return to Haiti to his rightful, duly elected position as president?
From what I have learned and studied of President Aristide, from what I can see in those
remember Aristide Shabaka
who are close to him, he appears to be a very sincere man. He appears to be a man who really loves our people there and wants
Jesse,
to see our
I got it. I can help you. And run smoother. You just want to do it that way.
It's just the clip. This clip is fucked up.
However, Phil, I do not want to see my beloved brother, President Aristide,
Shabaka, are you still there?
to Haiti by the power
He
of
dropped.
Bill Clinton. Because if Bill Clinton
Blog
can
Talk
help
Radio.
to return him there, he will always attempt to be the puppet.
What's going on? What's going on with the comments?
To my brother, how he should
Just
carry out
just
the
there.
government.
Put it in some other little eyeball. They don't say hi. Man, I used to mess with it. Okay, so like, pause it right there, Jesse. When I used to patrol the neighborhood, right, and I used to do lives. I used to do little lives, as I cruise around the neighborhood. Usually on my way to the Blacc House, or my way from the Blacc House, or on my way to the east side, or my way from the east side home. It really depended. But I would go and do a live. It would come on at any time of the day, any time of the night. Usually on Facebook. When I was well and I was cruising around. And sometimes I'd be on my way to I'd be on my way muted, Jesse. I'd be on my way to the Blacc House, and I'd be on my way to the Blacc House or whatever, or my way home. And I would be doing a live looking out for the unhoused, or, just cruising around. Sometimes I'd be spying on the police. Sometimes I'd just be out there, just observe it. And it really depends on the time of day or night. Sometimes I'd just be out there. We did little lives, and if I was leaving the Blacc House and I left the Blacc House, and say about married couples. Married couples get sometimes. Married couples be like, wow. They're talking shit, on the way back. So,
when you never heard call it like this? Oh,
yeah.
Phil Donahue.
Are you on speaker, guys?
No.
Okay, hold on a second. So anyway, when I was doing it, I used to say there would be like a couple of people tuned in, and I couldn't really see who they were. I just saw the little eyeballs and the number next to them. So I'd be like, I see little eyeballs. Don't be weird. Say hi. That's my thing, right? Don't be weird. Say hi. Right? At least say hi. For the most, do me that favor. To be a weirdo just staring off at me. Right? And I'll go into it like that. Like, you're just a weirdo, just staring at me, peeping me, but you won't say nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me, Jesse? You're just talking out loud.
I'm talking to you.
You're so weird, cuz.
Shabaka just got on the StreamYard.
Finally,
Yeah.
she's on the StreamYard.
Yeah, we got on the StreamYard is because, we're up here having problems with the blog talk. So, let us please continue the show.
They can't even hear you. So, like, what do you... That's why I said, this is why you should just let the master run it. Just let me do it.
Everything, y'all.
I'm good. I can't help it. Have I been wrong yet? Have I not been good yet? Have I failed you yet?
It's not me. It's definitely blog talk.
Yeah, it's blog talk, and because all these platforms, they're in cahoots together. You see what I mean? And then too, what this is, ladies and gentlemen, is part of the shadow ban that what we talk about. And shadow banning is that they don't like your message, so they throw all kind of monkey wrenches off into your work. And what it is it's time to haul these assholes off in the court. Is what it is.
Can you, Jesse? Because you're in the studio, right? Can they hear you?
Yeah.
So they can hear everything. Hold on. Have I been wrong though? Let's just answer that question. Have I not fixed everything when you guys have a problem? Because I was about to dip off, like just dip off. All right, twin, go to the doctors. Get yourself well.
What's going on, twin? I missed it.
No, of course you did. I wasn't posting any comments. I just read them.
Oh, he's heading to a doctor's appointment. Okay. Well, thank you for
you got to go to the doctors. You still listening? He said hi too. Yeah, I ain't been wrong. So you should just let me do it. I should have just took over and did it in the first place. I didn't want to. Really, I didn't want to. Like, I really don't want to. Like, I'll just let you do it because, it's tough being great.
All right, so let's get back to this clip.
I'm going to go on mute.
Yeah.
I'm going on mute. Hey, did you like your clip? It seems better now that Jesse played it again in full. Twin, did you see the clip that SHABAKA'S clip for his opening? That shit was pretty good.
Okay, and like I said, that episode right there that they did with KHALID back in 1994, I did see it when Phil Donahue was in prime time, and Phil Donahue, he was
that way. I think Phil Donahue had the biggest balls to read his own comments back. You know what I mean?
Bill Donahue had the Louis Farrakhan on there and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. Phil Donahue had everybody on his shows because his show lasted about 30 years, and he had started coming on in the late 1960s and all through the 1970s. And he was based in Chicago, of course, which is the headquarters of the Nation of Islam as well, too. And he's had entertainers, political activists. He's had white supremacists on there. And I recall he even had the neo-Nazis on there one time as well, too. And a lot of his shows, they were controversial. But one thing I will say about Mr. Donahue is that he did maintain some type of order, as opposed to that Jerry Springer bullshit, because Jerry Springer, he would come up there with that asinine, stupid shit, and people throwing chairs and fighting each other on the stage. And then there was even...
remember he had the Klan on?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, most definitely.
Just jealous because you joined the Klan, and they all got beat up on stage. That shit was hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that was beautiful. And then not to mention Geraldo Rivera.
Jesse, I'll play the second one after this one. I'll play the second clip. That's Jesse. That clip is like forever long. That's the same one I was gonna play. I got the other one, that one and the shorter version of Muhammad Ali. I'll play after this one if you want.
Well, we weren't gonna make this whole show about KHALID. I just wanted to give people a refresher course of who KHALID was.
I know
exactly.
The one that's like
the shit. We still got to get to the political nonsense that's going on right now.
Oh, absolutely. And then also too, KHALID Muhammad should be
nothing burgers. Like nothing's going on, really. Like in hindsight, it's the same old shit. except for, I don't know. I think nothing's going on. I mean, honestly, do you really think that, like the fact that Vivek didn't qualify really matters?
Yeah, I mean, he qualified for the other debates, while all of a sudden he didn't qualify for this one.
What I'm saying is, why he uses money like all the other good white folk do? Isn't he been like a millionaire? Does the other good white folk just buy up the fucking votes and signatures and whatnot?
Yeah, he's a billionaire. That motherfucker. He's big pharma all the way, pharmaceutical all the way.
Right.
Wearing Levi's and a fucking and a little honey jacket. I question that.
Somebody OD'd in the building.
All
wow,
right.
Condolences.
That's what they get for fucking around with shit they should.
I don't know how they cooking up anything on stoves.
That'd never be me. My heart skill failed like it always will. Like, good old, hopefully in my middle of my sleep and not while I'm awake.
We're supposed to get into the 30s, so.
It's like 20. It's 21 in the house right now. Well, it's probably like 19 in the house, and the computer's only registered.
Freezing. Supposed to get above freezing. And
and it's in the low 40s here in Las Vegas, Nevada, too. By the way,
you are lucky, Spucker. You are so fucking lucky right now.
It's snowed here.
You're so lucky.
It snowed up in the mountains. It wasn't Las Vegas proper, but it was up in the mountains because the mountains heading toward the west, they were blanketed, yesterday, I believe, but I don't think it was that much. It's because I don't see too much snow up there on it now. So I think so it just came through, for a small drip as they.
Like 5 inches of snow, and we got a polar vortex coming through. So that's ain't gonna be until after my birthday.
Yeah, and happy birthday to you there, Brother Che. You know what I mean?
You're like 4 days early, but thank you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And may you have many, many more. Is because, like I said, when you get my age, man, which is going to be about 20 years, man, I sure would hate to see this place in 2044. I really do.
Fuck, man. Hell no.
Yeah, you say 2024, you got 2044, 20 years from now, you're going to have the robots going around. You're going to be having these confused ass motherfuckers out here bleeding out the crack of their ass talking about they having a menstrual cycle.
And my new prediction is that's a fad. Like they gonna burn themselves out by the middle of this year. And we're gonna be back onto something else. And the new Negroes are the Hispanics.
Right. Well, what it is
to the system. Go ahead.
And what it is that with all these migrants coming in and Dr. Claude Anderson was right, because they coming in. Yeah, they're coming in as the new Ku Klux Klan. You see, and none of these presidential candidates are going to address this shit. They're going to come with this all-inclusive shit. You see what I mean? And it's going to be, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to watch the RBA later. The RBA later is going to be the same thing because, we, like me and Jesse feel like, I think sometimes we're the only two black people here. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Colorado, I really think that, but I'm gonna address that shit because the way this system has been designed, it is designed to continue to fuck off black people here in the United States for sure.
Right.
More and more fucked off because of these favoritism things that they got going on, and it's a real clear message. If anybody ain't paid attention, that the United States, they got no love for foundational Black Americans.
No, they never have had any love for us, Lady Che. I'm a witness to that. They come with this illusion of inclusion and saying this shit is progress, okay? And then, when you look at Hollywood and the imagery that they project.
We're going to get into a tangent and we're not going to be able to get through the.
And that's what we do, Jesse. Jesus. Just fuck around. Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and play it. I'm busy with you. Go ahead. This is what happens when you told me to come on the show. Yeah, it's better than the. You got it? You got it? Okay, I'm going mute.
Yes.
We reached out for 500 years.
Too late now.
We faced tanks. We faced water hoses and cattle prods. Vicious dogs bit the breast of black women off those protest marches of the civil rights movement. Vicious four-legged dogs sicked on us by two-legged dogs. Bit into the groin and the private parts of black men, women, and children. So, Mr. Donahue, I believe that the white man is absolutely disagreeable to live with in peace, and that no one has been able to get along with him nowhere on the face 196,940,000 square miles of the planet Earth.
That's right. And so you will continue this rhetoric. You will continue
action.
Action. What kind of action? Strategy to affect what in the United States of America? Let's start with us.
No wise general sits with a representative of the opposition to discuss battle strategy and battle plans before the. I don't think that would be wise. But the mission of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad and the mission of my spiritual father, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, whom I love very much, and I want to be in my number.
Out of you.
Their work.
We got a whole reel, y'all. You gotta check it out.
And salvation. Their work is a work to raise the mentally and spiritually dead black man and woman after we have been robbed of our names, our language, our religion, our culture, our God, our folkways, mores, and robbed of a power, the power of our own being. Lift
up the Pope's skirt to see what's there. This is high school stuff. Looks like faggot. It's an immature sort of failure to really get out of the old Beavis butthead kind of environment. Certainly you can't be proud
bring
of
that
this
back.
language that you use.
Well, if it is high school, then the Bible, just listen for a second, the Bible speaks of lifting up the skirts of the garment. Oh, I'm surprised that you feel. It's a metaphor. It's symbolic language. I'm not at all interested in what is under the Pope's clothes. I'm not into that.
Right.
It's a metaphor.
Right.
Let's see what's under there.
But it is a metaphor to say, let us expose the Pope, according to H. Shelton Smith, President Emeritus of Duke University, in his book entitled In His Image, quote, the Catholic Church and the Pope were directly involved in the institution of slavery.
Yep.
They financed slavery and gave the okay that it was good business to sell Africans. Lift up the skirts of his garment so that we can see the shame and reveal what has been hidden. But it has nothing to do with sexuality whatsoever.
What do you suspect has been hidden?
I believe that it has been perpetrated before the world.
To discover what it might be.
Well, we're saying lift up the skirt again. I don't believe
Lifting
you're
the
listening
veil.
to what I'm saying. Lifting up the skirt again.
You ain't got no testicular fortitude and all that shit. You know.
Only what's right has to do with revealing the history, the hidden history. When you lift up someone's garments, then you show their
Shout out to K.
shame.
Reno.
You show up their private parts,
Lifting the
that
veil.
which they normally hide from
He
the
has a
rest
whole
of the
song about
world. I'm not dealing with organs under the garment. I'm dealing with the organ of slavery and those parts that have been kept private from the masses.
Get on.
Keep this shit secret.
Provoked the Anti-Defamation League to take out a full-page ad in the New York Times and other newspapers. What ABDUL did essentially was publish in the New York Times some of the things that you said. Here's a part, this is an audio tape of a part of your speech to Kane College last November that created such furor. Khalid Muhammad speaking.
The hook-nosed, bagel-eating, locks-eating, imposter perpetrating a fraud, Johnny-come-lately, just crawled out of the caves and hills of Europe, wanna be you.
I've been asked this before, but may I ask you kindly to speak to
Shabaka, can you share it to the like page?
Okay, can I share it to the what?
Like page.
The like page.
With one of your
Okay, let me see if I can. Yeah.
in the middle of the civil rights movement because this black man was seen with two white Jews down there causing trouble, trying to promote the civil liberties of your people. Two Jews found in a shallow grave. I happen to have met the mother of one of these very brave people. And when she sees this, we can only speculate what must go on in her heart. You would want to say what to her?
I don't have anything to say to her.
You just condemned all Jews with that observation, with this alliterative kind of Jew bashing that so excites your largely male audiences.
Well, I wonder why. It means that I speak the truth. I speak to the pain and hurt of the masses of black people.
That's right.
I speak that which many of them wish they could say. That's why they cheer and applaud. And I speak that also, which many of them only whisper behind closed doors.
Facts.
I think it is very arrogant to put this on the screen, and for you and for others to attempt to tell me, one of the Holocaust victims of the African Holocaust, displaced in the death and decadence of the diaspora of the Western world after having been robbed and raped and murdered, to tell me how to hurt. These are strong words that you put on the screen, but you cannot tell the aggrieved and the victim As I was talking to Brother Malik Zulu Shabazz, the young student warrior from Howard University, and we were going over this. We said, how do they expect to tell we who have suffered so much how we should speak? When you are hurt, you'll say faggot, you'll say cracker, but you don't want to give me time to say where these terms came from and how they apply to your people here in America.
Get 'em.
If it is true that I don't want to give you time to explain the etymology of these words, it is also true that you apparently don't want to respond to my question regarding the loved ones of two Jews who lost their lives to stop the diaspora of the black people.
I don't know.
Do you have any?
I don't know why they were there, and you don't know why they were there. But I must say this.
So you're wondering whether they were there for your people.
I'm not wondering at all about them. I'm concerned with the suffering and the pain of the masses of black people. No one wants to pay reparations. The Jews received over $100 billion in reparations and gets $4 billion annually. A Holocaust museum was set up for them on this soil for over $200 million, and they get $21 million annually just for operating expenses. But the Catholic Church, the Pope, the Jews, the Arabs, white people in general, no one wants to pay reparations to these, the sons and daughters of Africa. So I speak to them. I don't speak. I speak to them. I don't speak to the family of those two Jews. There are too many of us for me to speak to them.
You don't want to take any time to make any particular
We've given all the time we've been in America. Now it's time we do something for ourselves. The same people feel that when you beat us and rearrange our eyeballs in the socket and rearrange our face and beat us and stomp us before the world, we're the same people that get up because God just made us with tender and sensitive hearts as his chosen people and say, well, can we just get along?
We lost you, Black Cat. Welcome back.
All right. Okay, so we're going to try to share it, you know, here on
I don't know what for the U.S. House to take its time to debate and vote on the condemnation of a private citizen, but it has done that. 435 members of the House of Representatives debating
to the like page,
the condemnation of Mr. Muhammad. Here are two members of the House on opposing sides. Calling for the censoring of Mr. Muhammad is Congressman Lantos, followed by Congressman Abercrombie, who makes a statement in behalf of free speech. Watch this, House of Representatives.
On November 29, 1993, at Keene College in New Jersey, Mr. Khalid Mohammed, a senior representative of the Nation of Islam, delivered an outrageous and violent attack on the principles of racial, religious, and ethnic intolerance. His attempt to incite violence by preaching bigotry and hatred must be swiftly and forcefully condemned by this body.
Governmental sanction against any speech, objectionable as it may be, is always suspect. The Constitution has proven to be our strongest safeguard against the Mohammeds of the world. Let us respect and revere the Constitution of the United States and vote down this resolution.
Congressman Abercrombie's position did not carry. The final vote of the House of Representatives on the matter of condemning Mr. Muhammad. 461 yea, 34 nay. You have, sir, been condemned by the United States House of Representatives. I assume you are flattered by that action.
As well as it should be.
I believe that my ancestors, I believe that the blood that cries out from the grave of my ancestors who went I believe cry out, their spirit is around me and their spirit is I believe that as a righteous man of God, but as a freedom fighter and a revolutionary, it is one of the greatest honors that could be paid.
Exactly.
One question. The ask, what can they do to help the situation? The same thing, because otherwise it's going to be a one-sided view. They need to reach their people as well. Yes. What I know is skinheads are not so worried about. Exactly. You want to suggest? Anything about
well, ladies and gentlemen, great news. We got blocked by CNN. Okay. Outstanding.
Question. Half of the white population does not support KKK. But this gentleman up here is throwing prejudice towards white people only, and it's unfair.
Yeah.
This is unfair is what we have to endure for 500 years.
My thing is, if
Exactly.
what he's saying, this brings your life.
In Rwanda and other places, and can you please tell me from Haiti are just risking their lives to come here to the United States of
as I said earlier, of a knowledge of self. And when you rob people, sir, of a knowledge of self, then it means that they start to take on the characteristics and the nature of their oppressor and their colonizer. And his mind, by automatic, systematic, remote control, rules in our people. He gives them the guns and the weapons and the drugs and the alcohol, the way you did our brothers, the red man and the red woman, brothers and sisters, the way you did our Latino brothers and sisters, and then you pit one against the other and then say, look at what these people are doing.
Exactly. Yeah, that part.
May I
his way of doing and him reverse racism or discrimination that you could tie into your statement on Hitler. If the slave master is whipping the slave and blood is running down the back, the slave whipping the slave master with his own whip. That is not reverse racism. That is not reverse discrimination. That is getting out under the yoke of bondage.
Okay. It's us, yeah. Jesse, be right back. I guess it's technical difficulties. It won't happen much more this weekend because it'll be over here. So anything we do, it'll be like less dramatic. But that was a pretty good clip. He'll be right back in any second.
Okay, and also too, Lady Che, be advised is that on our like page of SHABAKA'S Black Experience Enhanced, okay, is that a portion of our one of our presentations was took down is because CNN has cited a copyright infringement, and that just goes to show so much for the freedom of speech on the Cartoon News Network. Okay,
was it mine?
No, I think it was mine. It was off the like page. It was off the like page of SHABAKA'S Black Experience Enhanced, and I just read it. You know,
what does that mean, MD? What does freedom sound like to you? Like, you's a brother. Like, surely we should have the same
Okay,
freedom is.
Okay, all right. Okay, MD20. Okay, Shabaka, can I define freedom? Okay, well, to quote the words of our sister Sada Shakur, freedom is supposed to be, what you're supposed to be able to do and what have you. But however, here in the United States, it is going totalitarian straight out, with all this internet shit of when they want us to show black men being up here feminized and all this sort of type of shit, but they don't want to show strong black men leading their communities, leading their families in the right directions, doing things for the youth. You see what I mean? Is because the whole slavery system, as Dr. Khalid had stated over 30 years ago, it still has affected us to this very day. So therefore, they're saying is that, well, you guys are black racists. You don't believe in this all-inclusive shit. Who in a fucking right mind would believe in a society to be all-inclusive all of a sudden after it's been so brutal to us? Okay, you got all these immigrants coming in, all the resources is going for them, and black people pay taxes. You see what I mean? But they're not doing nothing for us. They talking about this is equality, where they want to show black men being effeminized up there in Hollywood and wearing a fucking dress. And this is why we appreciate Cat Williams of the situations, that he had spoke on, with Mr. Sharp, a few days back. You see, but then, they always want to, as Dr. Khalid said, put some bootlicking, half-fried, half-baked Uncle Tom Negro up in front of us, propping him up. Well, this is the spokesman for the black community, which is not true. Okay, it's because the sweat and blood of our ancestors that built the United States of America. Okay, they don't want us saying that. You got all these migrants who's going to get more freedoms and stuff like that, more so than us. You see, so the hypocrisy is real. You see what I'm saying? It's very, very real. And then too, they don't want us taking part, in this multi-trillion-dollar industry of social media. You see what I mean? They want us to go up here, to be fools, as long as black men is calling their women a B word and black woman is making derogatory comments, about black men, yeah, there's your freedom of speech right there. But as soon as you sit up there and say something about unity amongst the black community in Pan-Africa, oh, well, you're a black racist guy and all this bullshit, and they simply are pissing on our heads and telling us it's rain. So therefore, MD20, I hope that there, fulfills, your question right there when you said, can I define freedom? And then if there was truly freedom, people wouldn't have to go out there and die for it and things of that nature right there. I mean, the hypocrisy is real,
Yeah. Shabaka, I'm sorry, I got kicked out the studio. I just realized it.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember where I left off with the clip?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we was there with
questions.
But what question in particular?
Fuck, I don't remember. Yeah, MD, my thing is this. Black people ain't never really be free. Never really been free. There's always something subjecting them from acting in the same rights, behaving in the same rights that everybody else gets. I mean, in this current day and age, it's not going. There is no such thing for as black people. You can live comfortably. You can live poorly. They'll give you whatever within reason. But ultimately, we live under the lens of racism, white supremacy, in all 9 areas of human activity. So there is no such thing. Every other group, aside from black people, black Americans in the Americas, has a bit of freedom in one way or the other. In most ways and always, damn near the black man, black woman in the Americas is constantly either humiliated, berated, killed, used, tokenized, belligerently treated wrongly, denied rights, denied fucking the option to, denied the voice to speak on. At times, you can there's things where not all black Americans in the Americas in the Americas can get to do the same things as any other group. And like Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, was that reparations have been paid to everybody and they got their mama and continuously will be paid to everybody other than Black Americans. And no matter how much we're fighting, we are actually at war with everybody until things are made right and exact. The thing is that the other thing is too is that freedom, our sense of freedom was given, the word freedom and all that shit was given to us by them. We're under their version of what freedom is. It's not free. Everything we say is another group of people, especially when like when we talk about Jewishness and Judaism, that's a religion. There's no such thing as Black as a religion. Judaism is a religion, and a religion of religion has been constantly taken care of people who live under this religion, right? However, when you look at Muslims or majority Black, right, they're not getting the same shit. See what I'm saying? It's a religion. Where these people in the Holocaust and whatnot have been predominantly taken care of. But if you speak against that and you speak against them who've used this money, right, it was given to them to oppress us.
Yeah. They financed the slave ships. They insured the slaves. They did all of that shit. They definitely had their hand in it. They always try to play like they didn't have no hand in it, and they definitely did. The Rothschilds included. They all had their hands in it. So
yeah, they always complaining that a motherfucker is anti-Semitic, but what about your anti-Blackness? Like, we can't talk about anybody being anti-Black, but then when it comes to people who are Black, pro-Black, and they're anti-Caucasian, anti-whatever, anti other than Black, then it's a problem. How is that fair? If we live in a free speech society, then shouldn't everything be like that, fair and square? It's good for the goose, good for the gander. If they can do it, why can't I? But it doesn't work like that for Black people. So in the Americas, we're not free. Where it doesn't matter, they only let you get certain ways, and even if they make you their bootlick, their token Black, you only gonna get so far with it. Look at several people that are token Black people that people follow and listen to on the media, and then watch how regular Black people treat them, or they either listen to them or they don't, and then you got the radicalized Black people trying to make their way. And then you see how regular Black people listen to them are dope, and they side with the white man, or they go with Black church that's under the hands of white supremacy. You know what I mean? So we're not free, and the truth is, do we know if we'll ever be free? That's what I got.
See, that's just it, though, Lady Che. See, they want us to be ignorant. And they want us to be self-hating. They want us to be self-loathing. You see what I mean? They want us to sit up here and to embrace, everybody else except our own. You see what I mean?
Yeah. That's a slave way of thinking, Shabaka. A slave look out for everybody else but their own people.
Yeah, right. And I think Minister Malcolm X had said it best is when he said, well, boss, we sick. You see what I'm saying? And that is pretty much what it is. And just like Malcolm had said, and then when we sit up there and say, hey, let's go do something for ourselves, you got the house Negro and the field Negro. And then, the house Negro say, man, you must be crazy. What's better than what we got right here? You see, and they don't want to, to atone for that, let alone, and they wonder why we are so adamant, about the reparations and what have you. You see what I'm saying? And then the cold part about it is that when all these other groups, had come here and got their reparations, for the Japanese for the internment camps, and then of course, as we know, over there what's going on in the Middle East, you see, and that there is escalating. But and then you get a lot of these black politicians and what have you. Oh no, for us to progress is to be all inclusive, and every damn day that you see in elements and proof that this is not working. I mean, look at Brandon Johnson in Chicago. Look at Eric Adams there in New York City. Look at Karen Bass in Los Angeles. You see, so now you got black mayors in these key 3 cities from the west to the east. You see what I mean? But oh no, you got to be all inclusive. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way that we're going to get ahead, and that is not the case. Why do you think they did so much to tear down black businesses from New York, Chicago to LA? You see, they don't want us building no economical infrastructure, to make ourselves to become self-sufficient. They want every other group to come into our community, to sell their goods and wares, and they don't invest shit back in the black community. They take it and they fill their coffers at our expense, you see. And if this is hatred that we're saying is, then I have to be guilty, of the hatred. If this is hatred of what we're saying, and this is not hatred.
Rap Brown said it's the hate produced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then
telling the truth.
Yeah. Oh yeah, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of it as well too is just like that. Everything that we prop up, glorifying our historical past and what have you. Oh, well, that's racist. Oh, that's bad. You know what I mean? And keep in mind, and we stated before on SHABAKA'S Black Experience Enhanced, and we're going to state it again here on Grand Rising of SHABAKA'S Black Experience Enhanced. When we were building pyramids, developing the concepts of geometry, trigonometry, navigation, and what have you, the cave dweller was living in a cave, eating raw meat. And then when we try to tell certain individuals this, then they have their ignorance embedded in their mind so much as that they refuse to see it. But they're going to tell us, well, we're all the same and all that old bullshit. Which it is.
We are not all the same.
Exactly.
I think they say that.
Africa, rest in power to him as well. He's the one that told us we are different. If you want to research it further, there's plenty of clips of him on YouTube saying that we are different. We are not the same. So stop falling for the bullshit. We are not the same, black family.
Exactly.
I mean, I think that at the same thing is like, it's not. I mean, if you look at it from this perspective, like we're not the same.
But we shouldn't have to explain to our own people like this. Like this should already be innate. You should already know this already. Like
that's correct. And the other thing is too that I don't feel like it's a racist or prejudice thing that to want to address the situation, because for far too long, black people have always been kind and always been forgiving here in the Americas. And have always let shit slide. But at some point, innately, deep down inside, that you couldn't have let none of this shit slide. You shouldn't have let none of this shit slide. You know what I mean? It's tough that like even me, like I said, from this aspect, as being mixed, multiracial, whatever you want to call it. I'm black.
You still qualify for the auction block, Lady J. You will still qualify for the auction block.
Yes.
And this is what has to be emphasized as well too.
I don't feel it's racist I don't feel it's racist or bigoted or whatever words that these people created to fucking educate us as a black folk. I just think that this is what I think it is. I think that we have a right to be as they are. And what's fair is fair. So whatever we're doing now, and we're making stances on it, just keep in mind, they have been doing this shit forever. So they have been segregating us. They have been tearing us apart. They have been doing all this shit. They had been downplaying everything we do. They had been making it seem like they were smarter and greater. So whatever we're doing now, it's almost like the hands of time. Like, well, fuck that. No, you've been doing this. Your time is up. Your shit is done. We should be able to behave however we want to behave, considering that you have been behaving however the fuck you wanted to behave since you came and got us from any other fucking country or continent we were at.
Mm-hmm.
Or we were here. Yep. Either way, you came and snatched us up and you put us under this line of we must do whatever the fuck you want us to do because you're white and you say so. Whether it be follow your religion, speak your motherfucking language, eat your raggedy ass food, fucking do whatever. You didn't respect us. You never respected us. So why the fuck should we respect what the fuck you're talking about? Yeah.
Well,
all right, hold on, y'all. I need to finish this clip. Otherwise, it's gonna be here all day.
Okay, all righty.
What's the last question y'all remember hearing?
I don't remember because
it was Dr. KHALID. He was talking about how Jesse Jackson is half baked, half fried.
We're on the questions. We're on the questions, Shabaka. So, all right, I'm gonna start it over where the question starts. I think you dropped out. We got to the question part.
Okay.
It was after the lady spoke.
But Shabaka missed all that.
One question. The white audience that's watching this, a lot of times they ask, what can they do to help this situation? And I feel that they should go over to their people and represent this issue the same way this brother puts his life on the line for us. They should be doing the same thing because otherwise it's going to be a one-sided view. They need to reach their people as well. Yes.
What I'd like to know is what do they say to the KKK, the skinheads, the Nazis? They're so worried about this one brother. What about them?
Right.
I don't know whether you want to suggest that all white folks support the KKK.
Well, enough of
this.
this.
Bill Donahue with his shit again.
Paul say that.
His facts are right and exact, and no scholar will debate Dr. KHALID because Dr. KHALID is right.
Right.
I'm going to answer that lady's question. Half of the white population does not support KKK, but this gentleman up here is
no, Miss White Lady. Yeah, when you support police departments, you're supporting the KKK.
You are supporting the KKK, that part, but they think that, oh no, I'm not like that. I'm not racist. I have black friends. That bullshit.
Exactly.
No. You still suspect the white supremacists until proven otherwise. Period.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't have no evidence, not that I've came across in my 50 plus years of being on this planet, to support that, Brother Jay, and you're absolutely correct, sir. And for our viewers, this is not hatred, and this is going across the international market. We're telling you about the real, this trick. Yeah, play that, because KHALID is going to smash this clown.
Yeah, let me play it.
Yeah.
It's blacks killing hundreds of thousands of blacks in Rwanda and other places.
It's and can you please tell me why
from Haiti, blacks from Haiti are just risking their lives to come here to the United States of America?
Black people have been robbed, as I said earlier, of a knowledge of self. And when you rob people, sir, of a knowledge of self, then it means that they start to take on the characteristics and the nature of their oppressor and their colonizer. And his mind, by automatic, systematic, remote control, rules in our people.
Yep, it's on autopilot.
The guns and the weapons and the drugs and the alcohol. Our brothers, the red man and the red woman, brothers and sisters, the way you did our Latino brothers and sisters, and then you pit one against the other, and then say, look at what these people are doing.
Yeah.
Bing, bing, bam, 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 bam. We just put a four piece upside his dome intellectually.
May I have your attention, please? Thank you.
Adolf Hitler perpetrated the Holocaust on 11 million people that died, 6 million of which were Jews, 5 million were others. Am I to understand that you would very much support his way of doing things and him for that matter?
Sir, this is not reverse racism nor discrimination that you could tie into your statement on Hitler. If the slave master is whipping the slave and blood is running down the slave's back, and the sluts, incidentally, where the term cracker comes from the cracker man who was had the crack of the whip on the slave's back. But if the slave takes the slave master's whip from him and starts whipping the slave master with his own whip, that is not reverse racism, that is not reverse discrimination. That is the slave getting out from under the yoke of bondage and oppression. I don't advocate
Frederick Douglass did. And that's what Frederick Douglass did.
I went to the Holocaust Memorial Museum, and I tried to separate Hitler as a freak of nature from the rest of white people. But after all that we have gone through, I know that there's a little bit of Hitler in all white people and a lot of Hitler.
That's right. You got him with that.
To the Jewish brother up there, well, not brother, but the Jewish man. What about Goldstein, who slaughtered 39 Palestinians and became a Jewish hero? Publicly, rabbis said what about the fingernails, Dr. Collins?
Said that the rabbi said that the fingernail of one Jew was worth more than all of the Arabs in the world. And the New York Times ran the lead story with the photo showing the Jews fouling past his grave. They not only called him a hero, but a saint.
Yes, may I make this point, Mr. Muhammad? The atrocity perpetrated by Goldstein was roundly and publicly condemned by the entire leadership of the Jewish community in America, as well as the leaders of the state of Israel.
Let me ask you this.
They publicly condemned that action, and I can't even get you to look into the camera and convey even the remotest notion that you have in your heart some love for two Jews who died trying to save black people in the South. I speak of
you cannot get me to look into the camera and do that.
May I ask you to kindly speak to that?
You cannot get me to look into the camera and show love for two Jews. I don't even know them. I live with this pain and suffering every day among my own people. Look at our babies. They're in the Oakland, in the Bay Area. They're watching Schindler's List. You have your Schindler's List, but for us, it's been a swindler's list because someone is attempting to steal our birthright. They stopped the movie. Take our babies out of the movie as though it's such a moral outrage. And then Spielberg comes in. The governor comes in. What about the statements of the Jew, Howard Stern, the comedian, Jackie Mason? What about Moshe Dayan? What about the fact that members of the Senate have made racist comments and Congress, and they were voting against me, but they were not brought up by their own colleagues in that so-called august body?
Yeah.
Well, hello. What I'd like to point out is just as you said that you can't judge all black people by one person, you can't judge white people by just Hitler. What you have to realize is that we're in a diverse nation.
You hear this, mammy, y'all?
America, and we have a lot to learn.
Yeah, it's part of the mafia.
They do. And black people, white people, everyone else who happens to be in this room with me.
That's the boss we sick syndrome.
Would you please tell me, does Islam believe in Judaism and Christianity? And under Islam, are Jews and Christians are people of the book? Do you believe that? And further, do you believe, sir, that one people and one book sent by the same one God? And you referred to the people up front that they are your brothers. Is it possible, Muhammad, Mr. Muhammad, that I am your brother also? And is it also possible that we are brothers responsible for each other? Is that possible?
The Holy Quran says that the messenger of God believes in what has been revealed, and so do the believers. And I am a believer. In Islam, we believe in one God, whose personal and proper name is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that one God, we believe, sent all the prophets and the great ones in the great line of divine, and we believe in all of the revealed scriptures. I don't know you, sir. I could feel that if you were attempting to live according to the law of God, then you might be my brother in the faith, but not my brother by nature.
Are you aware, Mr. Muhammad, that the courts-martial system on or about or in or about World War II condemned many black sailors for their involvement in handling munitions, where many of them died as a result of their handling these munitions? Would you believe, Mr. Muhammad, that the Jewish war veterans that I'm proud to represent took this issue on, and we have condemned the United States Navy as it relates to the deaths of these sailors, and we have condemned them for their continuance dishonorable discharge of these black sailors? I ask you, Mr. Muhammad, what have you done on this specific issue?
Well, it's kind of difficult to believe you on anything, but I would say this, that I do know that during that same war, that America was, as is today, so racist until the German officers, when they were captured, could eat in the same mess hall and have the same accommodations as the white American officers. But the black troops couldn't go into that mess hall unless they were so and washing dishes. So it was a white man honoring another white man, though one was American and one was German, and they were supposed to be enemies that were still alive, that were able to find the two together.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
And then also too, Brother Che, if you could pull up some information, man, on an explosion during World War II at a location called Port Chicago in California.
I like how you handled that, because they're trying to get
And now how about this right
and
here?
he didn't do it. He was like, examples don't mean dick to all these other black people.
Come on, y'all. It's like 9 minutes left.
Citizen of America, I would like to know, when is that time going to come so you can learn about my history and understand my people? We are not in your books.
Yes, Phil, I like to say that, you know, what he's saying is being backed up by Jewish scholars as well. This is not only the information that KHALID has. Jewish scholars have the information. I'm from so we appreciate Brother KHALID.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Being an educated college person, I see that you can always bring up events like this and where people have been killed and mass murders from all people. Let's learn out the past and not make high school comments like yours and put down Hitler-like manners and try to form peace and learn off the past and from the future.
Sir, you wanted to say? Sir.
Yes, sir. I like to see us lay to rest this whole notion of anti-Semitism.
Right.
The one thing that is an incorrect statement, because the whole idea of a Semites were people who lived in southwestern Asia, including northeast Africa and the Arabian Peninsula, who spoke Ugaritic, who spoke Ge'ez, who spoke Ethiopic, spoke Hebrew, who spoke Arabic. Those are our people. We are a Semitic people. Therefore, we cannot be anti-Semitic. Ashkenazic Jews are calling us anti-Semitic. We cannot be anti-Semitic because we are the descendants of a Semitic people. Let's lay that to rest. That was a weapon in the hands of the Jews since 18.
I can't believe exactly what I'm hearing. We went to war in World War II to fight for the freedom of speech. We didn't fight for the freedom of speech of hatred. Many of our members, I'm the National Commander of Jewish War Veterans, and over 50,000 of our men died. They're fighting for your right to speech here now. I don't understand why you come out with such hatred.
Phil, excuse me, Phil.
In reality, it's like, why do
The same time that you were fighting, you were not fighting for the freedom and independence of black people. Soldiers, black soldiers in segregated companies lost their lives on foreign soil there, but would have to come back and fight just to get a bite to eat and not have to go to the toilet on the side of the road somewhere in the bushes. So you got hypocrites, and you won't pull that small-time stuff over on me.
And then not to mention the black soldiers who returned to the United States after World War II were persecuted and beaten as well too in the South.
Yep.
See, this is the part they don't tell.
What she said.
First of all, I'd like to say peace to all the gods and earths and all the people that came here to represent. Brother KHALID is definitely a true warrior in the cause of black struggle. What I'd like to say as a young black youth is that I feel that America has subjected me to a Holocaust. You understand? From all my ancestors all the way back to even right now, Rodney King, the brother Staten Island, all we've been subject to is death and destruction here.
Right.
And as far as Jews, in the Bible say that ye are the synagogue of Satan. And I'd like to ask you people, why do you feel that you have cornered the market on sympathy? And why can't you feel the pain of the black Holocaust? Why do you think that when we say the black Holocaust, that it's some blasphemous statement? I'd like for y'all to address that.
Yeah. That's right, brother. 30 years later.
Yeah.
And he still say the same shit.
Got the last speaker, the NAACP was partially founded by Jews. But now I'll get to my question.
Fuck the NAACP.
Say one final point. Eldridge Cleaver once said, if you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. And I'd like to just end this show hopefully by some positive note and ask KHALID if perhaps he'd tell us what his real agenda is. Just to go out and try to talk about hating people, or are we going to try? Are we going to have a race war? Or are we going to have some? Are we going to have cooperation?
We've been in a race war for 500 years. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
Question when we come back in just a moment.
All right, and then one thing I will do. Let me say this here, Brother Che, about Phil Donahue.
Share this number with you. This is the Black African Holocaust Council 800 number. 1-800-859-0170. I say again, this 800 number is 859-0170, the Black African Holocaust Council. The gentleman has a question of Mr. Muhammad. Are we going to preach hate? Are we going to have a race war? Where are we going, and what would you like to do to promote where you think we should go?
We are taught by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to show courtesy, respect, and kindness, to be polite to all people as long as they are courteous, respectful, kind, and polite to us. But we must look at the fact that we don't teach hatred. Everywhere we go as black people, we face hatred. Look at it. Look at it. Angel food cake, white people say, is white. Devil's food cake, you say, is black. You wear white to weddings and black.
Ali had mentioned that too.
You give us a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned, buttermilk complexion Jesus in contradiction to the black Jesus with leopard hair in the Bible. Our own babies, according to behavioral scientists, our baby girls, when confronted with choosing between a black doll and a white doll, there's been so much damage done. They choose the white doll and say the black doll is ugly. So racism is everywhere and it's institutionalized.
That's right.
We cannot really be racist because racism is prejudice plus power.
There it is, MD. That's where I got that from.
Yeah, exactly.
Will impact on any white folks in this audience, on your job, in politics, in economics, in housing, in the society. We don't have the power to do that, so we cannot be racist.
Exactly. No,
and then not to mention the fact that we don't control no police departments to carry out or implement any type of racial practices.
All other people who are not black
melanin at this point in time to understand that what has happened in our history is that you have been misinformed as much as we have been misinformed. Much of the information that is brought forth, not only from Dr. Muhammad, but other areas, other scholars, are not available to you, as the sister said, in your curriculums that you have for 400 years when you did not allow us to read and write and was being hidden. Whether you, sir, personally did that or not, it was a legacy that was passed on to you. And I end by saying the Holocaust is simply the greatest atrocity on film. Ours was not filmed.
Exactly, that part.
Yeah. Ouch. Bang, bang. Bam, bam, bang, bang. Yeah, that there was Muhammad Ali sting like a big combination upside his dome on an intellectual basis.
I am a Christian, and you mentioned Jesus. Let's go back historically and see what Jesus did. Jesus died for me, and he died for you.
Stop it.
Jesus is a God that loves all men, and all men are created equal.
Oh my God, stop it.
I just wanted to answer the gentleman over here's question. This young man wants to answer you. With respect to the race war, there will be a battle between black and white. And I fast and pray today that God, Allah, in his good time, remove all white folks from the planet Earth.
Ouch.
Everybody like, oh my God.
Two more questions, y'all. We just it's over after this one.
Okay.
I just want to say that my love and loyalty goes to Dr. Muhammad. And sister over here is a little lost. She got the contact lenses, then the fake lenses, but we won't go into that. It's no news. All right. My point is, there is, we seem to be attacking issues that really have no relevance. This is one man making a statement that is factual, like brothers and sisters said. These are in the books written by Jewish scholars, not by him. He's just quoting. And we're attacking him. So, what's the name of this book, brother? Please.
Secret relationship between blacks and
Jews. Yep. That's a must-have. Every black household needs to have that book. The Secret Relationship.
And what was the name of that book there again, Brother Che?
The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews.
Okay, I've heard of it. Okay, and then and like I said, and this is 1994. And I was about your age at that time in history.
You got that book, Ben?
Huh?
Don't you got that book?
No, I don't have it. I think Pops has it. I don't have it currently. No.
Okay, but what the moral is of the story, currently here in 2024, once again, is that we got to do for self. Period is basically is what the crux of it is, commercially, economically, educationally, intellectually. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. And then when it's getting ready to come down to, folks, is that we are all we got, and we have to be dependent upon each other. I mean, Minister Farrakhan has said that. Malcolm has said it. Marcus Garvey had said it over 100 years ago. Sister Harriet Tubman, the work that she did and what have you. They say, and we got to simply build up our own infrastructures, as we have stated on this platform, for the last 7-8 years now. What are we in season 8 now? Okay, for the last 8 years. Yeah, okay. Is that to become self-sufficient, to do for ourselves, stop killing each other. You see what I'm saying? And then also, too, we got a lot of agents, who are infiltrating us as well, too. And then with Barack Obama being the president, I'm quite sure that the world would have had more respect for Barack Obama if he at least dealt with at least 2 significant issues in the black community. You see what I'm saying? As opposed to mass incarceration. You see, to counter madness. You see, it's because all these other groups are coming here, they're looking at us as a joke, they're looking at us as some court jester, some buffoon or whatnot. Amos and Andy Rochester, Yaz Boss and all that bullshit. But what it is, black family, you know, here in the early 21st century with AI, artificial intelligence taking over, it's not a question if it's going to take over, it's just when. So we got to counterman these issues as well, too, and to see if we can get some type of artificial intelligence, you know, to maintain our safety as well. Okay, and I yield.
All right. I got your clip that you wanted me to play, Shabaka,
Okay.
for Chicago. Shout out to Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
The best Phil Donahue show ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Phil Donahue, man, he would get off the hook because, like I said, Phil Donahue, he would have everybody up there, as I recall. Yep.
Okay, so this is about 12 minutes long about the Port of Chicago disaster that happened 75 years ago. Now it's longer than that now because this video came out 4 years ago. So 79 years ago.
Right.
Port of Chicago disaster.
Yeah, which is off the Carquinez Channel, which is a waterway that goes from Stockton, California to Frisco Bay.
Watching the movie stars perform, and I decided to join the Navy to be like them. I wanted to sail. I wanted to go to sea.
On the Sassoon Bay, 14 miles from Concord, California, near the point where the Sacramento and San Joaquin rivers meet, sits the skeletal remains of the Port Chicago Naval Base, just about a mile from what was once the tiny town of Port Chicago.
I left Chicago and went to Port Chicago.
It's where a young Navy sailor named William Ross landed in 1944 following his military training at Great Lakes, Illinois.
It was a disillusioned place. It had no kind of excitement or anything like that. It was a kind of desert-looking place.
The Port Chicago base was a Navy base. It was, in fact, the most important ammunition handling facility on the West Coast during World War II. There were about 1,400 sailors there, all African American. The officers were all white.
The job that fell to black sailors at Port Chicago was the task of loading ammunition and bombs onto ships destined for the war.
My job was loading ships, torpedoes, and depth charges, and just every kind of ammunition that the Navy is using is very dangerous. You know, that's the thing that constantly stayed on your mind.
Neither the officers nor the sailors had had any preparation or training in ammunition handling.
You loaded the ammo on the boat, and it was a terrible thing. I mean, you wondered, is this it? Is this it? Is it going to explode?
They called them the loading officers, and they had to tell us what to do, but they didn't know what to do any more than what we did.
Richard Soublay's father, Morris Soublay, was a chief boatsmate working on one of the munition details.
I think he told me once, we know that inevitably something was going to happen. We just didn't know when, and we didn't know how.
And they could handle 2 ships at a time on either side of the pier, and they were getting those ships out of there a few days each, turning them right around and getting them right back out.
They'd bring the train up there, and they would bring it up to the ship. So that's where the danger come in, because most of the guys were uneducated. They didn't know. They would just get the ammo off the freight and start throwing it around, and it was a hell of a feeling.
July 17th, 1944, there were 2 ships there waiting to be loaded. The Bryan and the Quinault Victor had come in that morning. The Bryan was almost completely loaded by that point.
And one of them was loaded to the hilt And next morning, it was leaving. It was leaving out of there loaded down. I was at my barracks. I just took a shower at the close to 10 o'clock. And the darn thing just blew up. It just exploded. And everybody started running. We were running different directions. We didn't know what the hell we were running to or what. It was more explosions after that one. After the first one, you could hear the whistle flying over. You could hear it. I ran as far as I could, and I tumbled over in a ditch. And I lay there for I don't know how these people found me. After a while, they picked me up out of this ditch. My leg here was bleeding, and my feet was cut by glass and stuff like that. And I just had my skivvies on, my underwear, you know. They were talking to me, take him to the hospital. They held me for about 4 days.
Huge blast, probably the largest blast before the atomic bomb. We went off there, completely destroyed the ships. All of the sailors, all of the officers were killed who were there, all right near the pier. Nobody knows exactly what happened. Nobody who was close enough to see it survived.
The blast killed 320 men, wounding nearly 400 more. It was felt as far away as San Jose and Santa Rosa.
Damn! That's over 50 miles away. It was felt as far as San Jose. That's at the bottom of Frisco Bay.
Yep. And one pilot reported that he saw a chunk of metal fly by his plane, and he was up at least about a half a mile. And so to think that you would have a disaster like this taking place on American soil is just, it's unconscionable.
So if it went from if you heard it from Santa Rosa, California to San Jose, that's over 75 miles.
Yep.
And your reference point is that San Jose is 50 miles south of San Francisco.
Correct.
Yeah, so look at a map of Frisco
Day after
Bay.
the explosion,
Logistics
was called out. Yeah, they were called out to help try and figure out what happened and what they could do to help people who may have survivors out there. And what they found was just carnage.
And then look at the damage to that car right there, and they were built out of steel back then, not beer cans.
Right.
When they were called out and ordered to form formation to go to the shipyard at Mare Island, where what would they be doing? Loading ammunition.
They asked me to go back and all the other guys going back to loading ships. And everybody was refusing. They didn't want to go. But I said, no, I don't think I want to load ammunition ship anymore.
And when they were ordered to turn and go to the boat that would take them over to where the ammunition handling would be done, they stopped. They stopped basically as one man.
And 50 said, no, we have to now recognize that that's dangerous and life-threatening work, and we don't know that we want to put ourselves in harm's way like that.
Right.
You remember when I did a live feed when we was with Mile High News from Mare Island?
Ammunition bombs were charged.
That's it right there.
Court-martial trial. Some, like Ross and Soublé, agreed to go to Mare Island and continue the dangerous task of loading ships.
My dad was one of the guys who went back. He felt that he had an obligation to defend his country. I asked him once, what did he think about that? And he said, they had to make the choice that they needed to make. I had to make the choice that I needed to make.
How come you didn't get a court martial?
Because I told them I'd go back to work. My mother was crying for 24 hours a day. They took the men over to Mare Island. We were making ammunition.
But only 50 of them were put on trial for mutiny. 50 who were sort of randomly chosen by the officers. The trial was held on Treasure Island, right out in the middle of San Francisco Bay.
Right.
All 50 were found guilty of mutiny and sentenced to immediate imprisonment to long prison terms of about 15 years.
The Port Chicago 50, as they were called, were imprisoned until the end of the war and then released. But the Port Chicago incident had set in motion a profound change in the military.
The black sailors had no idea that their work stoppage at Port Chicago had played a part in the desegregation of the Navy and then the other branches of the military. What they had done would be what the civil rights movement would do in civilian society.
The town of Port Chicago is now gone, but a monument run by the National Park Service marks the spot where the explosion tore apart 2 ships and hundreds of lives. The pilings of the pier slowly eroding into time. Because the site remains an active Navy base, access is extremely limited.
Yeah.
The graves of 27 Coast Guard, Navy, and other military personnel killed in the blast lie in the Golden Gate National Cemetery. The 50 survivors, court-martialed for mutiny, have all passed on. But for some, cause is not yet over.
So what we're doing now is a campaign to get these sailors exonerated. Even though the survivors are deceased now, it's important for their families, and it's important for the public to realize that the sailors were accused of and convicted of a mutiny that did not occur.
Sailor Freddie Meeks was the only one of the 50 to receive a pardon from President Bill Clinton. He was also the only one to petition for a pardon during his lifetime. But supporters are pushing for the remaining sailors to also be exonerated.
Here we are 75 years later, and we still haven't found the compassion to pardon those other 49 people for what the government considered to be an injustice towards this country when it was really an injustice towards those sailors.
92-year-old William Ross lives in Santa Ana, California, with his son Marquise, also a Navy man.
What's this right here? This is after the explosion?
Ross hasn't stepped foot on Port Chicago since the day of the explosion. It's only recently he's felt a desire to see it once again.
Yeah, I wish people would know about it, you know, to know the danger and everything these guys were facing, you know. There's a theater right there. I was there, man. I was there. I was so happy to get away from there. I said, well, I'm lucky, you know, I'm lucky.
It's another reason, more reason for reparations.
Yeah, that and more so. Yes, sir, and that more so is because I'm quite sure that you have a lot of our people there in the Bay Area and in the U.S., for that matter, that have lost loved ones right there. And then, of course, it just goes to show how marginalized they value Black life even to this day, and particularly back there. Yes, sir. And even as far as back then, was that there's 70 years ago? Let me see.
80. It'll be 80
yeah,
years.
80 years. Yeah, now it's 80 years ago. Okay, so almost a full century. But however, we're not supposed to. Yeah, and we're not supposed to get upset about that. We're supposed to sit up there and just tolerate, organize, and march. Tolerate, organize, and march. Tolerate, organize, and march. And then you would think that the 44th president, you know, would have had a sense of himself to say, hey, you know, guess what? I'm signing an executive order to do this, that, there, thus, and so. you know, to compensate the families of these men who lost their lives doing this hazardous duty. Plus, not to mention the fact there should be some punitive damages on the U.S. Navy for those white officers ordering these black men to do this duty because they were not going to get their asses out there to do it. You see what the fuck I'm saying? And then not to mention the fact when you look at the damage to those automobiles, and keep in mind, back at that time, those automobiles were built up out of steel, not aluminum beer cans. Okay, and if that inflicted that much damage on hardened steel, you can just imagine just how devastating that it was. Okay, so therefore, where you Democratic presidential candidates at on that one? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And of course, we already know how you reptilians feel, you know. So, what does Nikki Haley have to say about that? What does Rami Salami has to say about that? And then where you at, Uncle Tom?
As in human shit, and we want to make that perfectly clear. Have to say
Yes.
about that.
Yeah, exactly. And then what does Uncle Tim Scott have to say about that? What does Eric Adams have to say about that? What does Brandon Johnson have to say about that? What does London Bridge over there in San Francisco has to say about that?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And do you know how fucking far Santa Rosa, California is from Port Chicago, man? That's 50 miles north of the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yep.
You know, roughly, you know, just on my rough estimates of traveling through the Bay Area at the course of my lifetime, you know, and then I believe that area where Port Chicago is, I think that is an area now, I'm not sure, don't hold me to it. I think it's near a place called Antioch,
Yes.
California. Okay. And then, and keep in mind at that time, all that there.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, California. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and keep in mind at that time, all that there was open wilderness. You know what I mean? But now you got a bunch of track homes up there. You know, it's suburbia, suburbs.
They extended the BART, Shabaka go all the way out to Antioch.
Oh yeah, the Bay Area Rapid Transit System. Yes, sir, that is correct. You know what I mean? And then keep in mind, who knows how much black talent was stolen from that in engineering and what have you. And then there is a Facebook group called What's Going On in Oakland. And I'm going to try to reach out, you know, to some of the elders there, you know, if they're still around, of what their thoughts on that, you know, during that time, during World War II. Yes, sir. And then, of course,
my great grandfather fought in World War II. He was in the Navy as well, so he could have very well been in that same situation.
Absolutely.
Black naval officers, and then my grandfather, who passed last year, he was in the Navy as well.
Right. Okay. So therefore, man, you know, if he was stationed there, if you had any relatives right there, man, by all means, you know, follow up on it, you know, to see if your family could be compensated for your loss. And I wonder why old Barack Obama never talked about that.
Because Barack Obama didn't have the FBA experience, Shabaka. Barack Obama grew up in Indonesia. All around. He didn't grow up in the United States. And he was raised by white grandparents. They didn't teach him none of that. From Kansas.
Okay, and plus that, he was born in Hawaii too. Yeah, okay. And then about 3-4 years after Hawaii became a state, I believe. Okay, but it's just
because he was born like 4 years after this happened.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because he was
like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, because Barack Obama was born in 1962. So Barack Obama
no, it'd be like 12 years after.
Yeah, because Barack Obama, I believe he was born in 1962. So this is 2024. So Barack Obama will be 62 years of age this year. But it's just very, very sad, ladies and gentlemen. You know, it's Dr.
18 years. So it was 18. This happened 18 years before he was born.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So it's just very, very sad, ladies and gentlemen, of how they marginalize, our history. They marginalize our very existence. You know what I mean? And then also, too, ladies and gentlemen, go to the like page of SHABAKA'S Black Experience Enhanced, and we do not mean no
Wow. So
copyright.
when this happened, this is the same year my grandfather was born, who just passed last year. He was
Right.
born in
Yeah. Because it's soon to be, let's see, 2020. Let me see, 2021 was the 1941 80th anniversary of the Pearl
45.
Harbor.
He was born in 55, so it was a year after this happened. He was born.
Okay. So it just goes to show the systemic racism of these American institutions and what have you. They pretty much take us for granted. You know what I mean? So it's up to us to take care of ourselves.
Yeah. No lies detected. All right, so do we want to close out here, or do we want to crumb bomb on the jump as in human shit? Bad Salami, Nimarata Haley, Krispy Kreme Christy, and any other in a $100.
Okay, all right. Well, unfortunately, I have to go is because I have to do some cleaning up here in my apartment because I'm supposed to be having an inspection.
That's right. All right, so we need to close it out. Lady Che, are you still with us?
Yeah, barely.
Okay. Give your closing, Lady Che, and let the people know when the RBA is going on.
I'll probably try to do that a little bit after you get here, because I'm having a hard time, as you know, over here at the house. So as soon as you get here, we'll discuss it. Then if I show some more fascinating clips. Thank you everybody for having me on. Stay black, stay dangerous, Grand Rising. Have a beautiful day from the Revolution Agenda, and obviously me. My end of the spectrum.
Okay.
Joining us, Lady Che. Shabaka, what is your closing?
Okay, our closing comments is on this here. There's no copyright infringement here intended, and if it happens to be copyrighted, because I'm responding to an alert that we got, on the like page of SHABAKA'S Black Experience Enhanced in regard to CNN. So this is no copyright infringement intentionally. We are just simply using all sources to report the news as it currently is happening.
The copyright disclaimer been scrolling the whole time. See, that's that bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we got the copyright disclaimer up there, right there, and as he clearly got it stated of the Copyright Act of 1976 for fair use, and that's all that we've used it for. So we don't see no copyright infringement. But however, that there's just the algorithms hating on us is because they do not like this message. Okay, it's because we refuse to go out here and wear pink panties and call ourselves women when we are men. Okay, we refuse to acknowledge that bullshit. Okay, also too, America is not an all-inclusive society. You see what I mean? And then keep in mind is that this country was built off the sweat blood of our ancestors who were brought here against their will. And we appreciate Dr. KHALID Abdul Muhammad and to his contribution to our history as a people. And there's so many others that we thank. But of course, this is a special day for Dr. KHALID. Okay, Dr. KHALID, rest in power, brother. And as long as I'm up here above dirt, we will try to get your truthful message out, passed on down to the future generations to the best of our ability. And for all of our haters out there, please continue your hate mail. It's because what we're doing is that we are taking your negative energy, we're changing the polarity on it and turning it into positive energy for these platforms and our like-minded folks as well too. So we love our haters and keep the hate mail coming.
Yes, sir.
All right.
All right.
Okay. And this is Shabaka saying Corey for Frontline Black News from Sin City, Nevada.
All right. See you later, Shabaka. All right,
Yes,
thank
sir.
y'all for tuning in to this Grand Risings with Shabaka and the Chase, Season 8, Episode 3 of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. Make sure you check us out on Tuesday for a brand new episode of Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced. And also, it is my C-Day, as we say, or birthday. My 37th birthday is this Tuesday, so happy early birthday to me.
Okay,
And
happy solo return, and may you have many more.
Also, our me and Lady Che's anniversary, so happy anniversary to us as well. And thank y'all for tuning in to Grand Rises with Shabaka and the Che's, where we discuss the current political fervor in 2024 between the Democrats and the Republicans. Donald Trump, aka the jump, as a human shit, and we might want to make that perfectly clear.
Indeed.
The Black prosecutor Fanni Willis in his Georgia state case. Ron DeSantis, aka DePantis, we question his war record as a JAG, judge, advocate general officer in the U.S. Air Force. Vivek Bad Salami not qualifying for the 5th Republican presidential debate in Des Molines, Iowa. Nimarata Nikki Haley, she is downplaying the Civil War as the cause, downplaying the cause of the Civil War. Jim Crow Biden's son, Hunter Biden, is a dope fiend who was charged with contempt of court and had a hearing about it this week. And big rest in power to our warrior scholar, Dr. KHALID Abdul Muhammad. And this is KHALID Abdul Muhammad Day. So thank y'all for tuning in. The air date of this program was January 12th, 2024.
Yes,
so we will see y'all on the RBA later on. Frontline Black News on Saturday, tomorrow at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And we'll see you on Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced this coming Tuesday, January 16th, 2024. So in the meantime, y'all like and subscribe to all of our platforms. Frontline Black News on YouTube and Facebook. The Revolutionary Agenda on YouTube and Facebook. And Shabaka's Black Experience Enhanced on Facebook and the X, formerly known as Twitter. And we do apologize. We had technical difficulties on the blog talk end. So if you did try to call in, we do apologize. Hopefully we will get this figured out by Tuesday. So peace, love, light, reparations, and separations, and Black empowerment. We will see you on the RBA. Peace.
All right. Take care.